Welcome to the second video where I'll explain about nodes today. So let's create a new application. The application I'm going to name is as SSEL nodes app. Obviously, we just need to check if there are other container running or not. No container is running here. Check here. Oh, this one container is running. So it means I can create one more container. So there's one container running, as you can see here. So I can run one more container without switching it off. So here we go. SSEL nodes app. That's what I'm going to name it, because I'm going to be explaining about nodes in that. And now I'm going to name my instance, and I'm going to keep my template as default and click here, and bingo, I got it here on my container. I enable this one. All right, and then I go to editor, because most of the work today in this video is going to be inside the editor. Next thing I'm going to do is explain you basically, there's so many nodes here, right, as you see on the left side. And there's inject, there's a debug, and when you click on the node, you'll see a bit of description about the node, what this node does. So the whole Smart IoT Cloud is based on these nodes. You can drag and drop any node and can create anything from it. So there are also several functions available, like in any language, like and then you also have MQTT network nodes, and there's so many nodes. So the whole system basically here depends on these nodes. Obviously, I've given you a PPT with it explaining what each node does. So the scope of this video is not to explain you about nodes, but just drag and drop one and show you how it works. So this one node which you timestamp. So I'm just going to basically inject a timestamp, and you can select configure different options here, which you can learn about it through documentation available on Node-RED. But here I just explain you a basics of it, right? So the idea is to help you understand how these nodes can be connected with each other, and you can delete nodes. So I would suggest that you go through the documentation of the node that you want to use. First, you go through the documentation, read about it. It give you basic here, but you can click on more on the, you see this next to the search button. Next to search button, there is a more information when you mouse over anything. So you can basically go there and do it. Same with every network node, same with every function, same with every MQTT, HTTP, WebSockets, TCP in, TCP out, UDP data in, UDP out, or you can have a different sequence. For example, you can split the sequence messages, you can join them together, you can sort them, you can batch them. These are the sequences which you want to learn more. You can learn more about the documentation. And then similarly, you can do a lot of parsing in CVS, HTML, JSON, XML, and then you can write those storage files. These are the dashboard nodes. Those are most important ones, because these are the ones we're going to be working with. Because these are the UI elements of Smart IoT Cloud. So you can drag and drop these within a minute and develop on a website, a drop down menu, a switch, a button, a slider, a numeric, text, gauge, chart, audio input, output, notification, any UI control you can basically provide through these ones. So let's start up with the simple one. We're gonna drag, inject, and we're gonna also do a debug. So debug is just for you to help you debug. It's not gonna show on the website, but it's just you can connect anything to debug mode so that you can see what is going on without you actually send the data to the thing. So here this debugging could be, you see here, you click here and then you can see the debugging. First, let's connect timestamp to the debugging, and then you double click timestamp and you select what you want to inject. For example, there's so much you can inject data, message, time. So let's stick to the timestamp data, and we select we want to use this YYMM as a time. So you can explore these different options yourself and try it with even debug mode to find out what each option does. Click done, and now you need to, because it's not on the website, you can deploy it, but it will not go on the UI on the website because it's a debug mode. So your timestamp is being injected to the debug. So you just click the timestamp, and you see on the left right side here, this one, you see the timestamp. So every time you push this inject, you will see the time there. So basically this is just a small program to show you how we can connect two nodes together, and how those nodes can basically can be data coming from the node can be debugged. So debug can be applied to any of these any of these nodes, input nodes actually. Now I'm going to remove the debug, and I'm going to put this on the text, whatever the time I'm injecting. So text is basically a dashboard node, a UI node, which means okay, these are the options that you don't need to worry about at this stage. The reason is because this is something we'll explain in detail. I'm just going to do a few clicks and configure my stuff, but in later videos I'll explain you what are these. So okay, just ignore it, what I'm doing at this stage. So here we go. I'm going to just do a home. Here we go. Okay, done. Here we go. Now it's ready, deployed, and now I can go back and run the dashboard. Here we go. You see here the default text. So when I push this inject, I'll see the data being pushed to my web. You see here. So this is consider this in a hello world program where I just connected two nodes together, and they can I also showed you can debug it. I'm labeling it now. So here you can label anything really, and these are the things again, like I said, I could show you later on in more detail. You see the timestamp label is changed, and yeah, so you can there are a lot of other configuration of this that you can use. No, you can install new nodes as well. For example, sometimes you want better UI, so you can actually, you see here nodes, there are a lot of nodes available. But the good news about this Smart IoT Cloud is that we can import new nodes like this, as I'm doing. Go on a palette, and here you search for new node. These are the existing node which are already installed. 50 nodes on Node-RED and 21 nodes on Node-RED dashboard. But I can search for new node. For example, I want to search for map, right? There's no map right now available, so I say world map, and then I click on the world map which I want. I click on install, and what will happen is once it's installed, I will see the world map on the left hand side. These are the components, those are been added to the palette on the left hand side. So if I scroll down, I will actually see this at the bottom. Here we go. See, this location wasn't there, so it's all added here, and also added to the UI the world map. So this I can just now drag and drop, and it will show me a map on my dashboard, which I can configure the way I want. So obviously there's a lot of other configuration which is out of scope of this video, which you can learn later yourself by trying out. So the whole idea about this video was to show you that there's so much available, and you can click on all these nodes and can learn about those nodes, and then can try it out yourself by connecting one node to another, and then configuring it on the right hand side, or debugging it and deploying it, and actually seeing everything happening live. So that's about it. Here we go.